Earlier this year, I went out and purchased a Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, and Wii U. And what I found out shortly after that purchase is that video game emulation on PC is a way better way to experience old video games. It allows you to play on modern hardware without too much trouble. You can increase resolutions and frame rates, and of course improve image quality, and it is way more cost effective than going out and buying retro consoles and games that are oftentimes sold for absurd prices well over what they sold for originally, sometimes 20 to 30 years later. And it's not even better if you go the official route of emulation with services like PlayStation Plus Premium or Nintendo Switch Online. For example, Nintendo Switch Online is drip feeding games to you, and they're charging you $50 a year to basically rent these N64, Sega Genesis, SNES, and NES games. And you have very limited access to the library for games that have been available on emulators for close to 20 years. I feel that's a bit much. And you could buy that old hardware, but then having to either mod your hardware or buy specialized HDMI cables, which are often costly too, just to make the game only look slightly better, isn't great in my opinion either. Now, many people will say, then why even bother with old games? Play something modern. And in my opinion, modern video games are just looking for ways to extort money from users. Either making the game less enjoyable by having you pay for all kinds of DLC and microtransactions, and in some cases like NBA 2K, literally being paid to win. Modern day video games rarely respect your time or our money, especially in the free-to-play space, where more often than not, you're expected to pay to keep up. And then you have $60, $70 traditional AAA games that then after you pay your $60, $70, they expect you to then wait 6 to 12 months for the game to actually work as it's supposed to. These are the reasons why I started playing retro games to begin with. As a kid, there were so many games out there that I wanted to play, but I only had so much money. So there was a lot of games that I clearly missed out on. And emulation allows me to check out those games that I missed out on, sometimes go and have a little bit of a nostalgia trip as well, while also waiting for the modern AAA games to work the way they're supposed to and be priced what I feel is appropriate. It also helps me avoid a lot of the poor business practices and extreme costs associated with retro consoles, all while getting a better overall experience in the said games. It's become one of my favorite ways to game. Now, my goal here isn't to tell people stop playing and buying AAA games. However, I feel like so many gamers in 2022 are so fast to write off old games and say, hey, they're old, they're not good, they're bad for whatever reason, or write off emulation because of the quote-unquote legal issues that come with it, are missing out on awesome, rich experiences that I feel like only come with, going back and experiencing what gaming used to be, and somebody experiencing amazing classic games. I think Xbox got it right with the Xbox One with backward compatibility, and I wish they could have continued the program. Obviously, they ended the program late last year, late 2021. And then when you see what Sony and Nintendo are doing, I think the practices are actually quite disgusting. So my recommendation here, and the whole point of this video, is try new games, new to you. It doesn't have to be an old game if you've never played it before. Yeah, it may be years old or whatever, but that doesn't matter. If you've never experienced it, it's still going to be great to you. Give it a try, play some games you've never tried before, maybe revisit some games that you played as a kid, and I think it'll help you see AAA games, especially new modern games, in a new light. My name is Kev. Thank you for checking out the channel, and hit that like button, hit subscribe, share with a friend. I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.